Stuck between two pipes. Well, guess I'll keep on gaming for the rest of my life. We've had Sonic Advance 1, a classic-styled callback game, and we've had Sonic Advance 2, a more ambitious title that pushed the boundaries of what 2D Sonic could be, and we've had Sonic Battle, a fighting game that wanted to be an RPG so badly. So, what happens if you blend all these games together into one single entity, into some kind of man-made horror beyond our comprehension? Well, you get Sonic Advance 3, of course, a mishmash of everything that came before. But how is it? Is it third time the charm, or will it make me want to self-harm? Oh, let's jump right in. So, we get a quick little introduction animation like usual. I mean, it looks nice, but, it doesn't really tell us anything. Eggman presses a button and there's an emerald and that's about it. That's your story pretty much. Back in today, we'd get 5-second cutscene and that was enough to keep us happy. To youth today always complaining. On to the game itself and, well, I'm shocked. But the first zone isn't another Green Hill clone. It's Route 99, the evil version of Route 66 I guess. But it's nice to have something different for an opening zone for a change. I was getting a bit tired of seeing them bleeding green hills, you know. It's about time someone chopped down them trees and built a car park there instead. Fucking nature, what's it ever done for me? So the gameplay, and yeah, it really is a mixture of Advance 1 and 2. The level design is a lot slower paced, with a bigger focus on platforming and more exploration. But there's still an element of the speed, like from the second game too. It works well honestly. It might take a while to get used to the controls because the acceleration is a bit whack, but you'll get used to it. I know a lot of people seem to dislike this level, but no, it's good. You just suck. It's not perfect though. Like bro, you're really gonna have an instant kill crushing block on the first stage which you can't even see coming. That's a bit harsh there, mate. So, what's weird with this game is, there's a hub world. See, you don't just go straight to the next level, you need to track it down first, like some kind of peasant. They also decided to give each zone 3 acts this time. I mean, that's basically sacrilegious to do that in a Sonic game. I don't think many people really liked it in Sonic 1, so I'm not sure why they brought it back here. But hey, as long as the levels are good, shouldn't really matter, right? On to the first boss then. And, oh my god, it's Emerald! He's alive! Only he's got a sick new paint job. Wait, no, my bad. It's not Emerald. His name is, Gemerald. Totally different character, you guys, trust me. They added a G. He doesn't put up much of a fight though. It doesn't even have his own boss music or anything. It just sort of shows up and gets his ass beat. It's not really much of a debut if you ask me. You know what I think would have made this boss fight a bit better? If he randomly turned into a giant hammer. But what are the chances of that happen? Oh, never mind then. You know, someone working on the Sonic Advance series really likes hammers, don't they? Every game has a hammer boss. I mean, you might as well call these games the Hammer Trilogy from now on. But hey, it's a good boss, and thankfully, they got rid of that crappy running shit from the last game. I mean, thank God for that. Really, the game makes a good first impression. Yeah, there's a few BS moments, you know, spikes, enemy placements, the usual, but it's just part of the course at this point, let's be real, so I'm used to it. So after beating up Eggman, we're on to the next exciting zone. It's bloody Green Hill again. Man, they really did a bait and switch there, didn't they? Just when you thought you'd seen the last of this godforsaken place, they slap it in your face anyway, once your guard is lowered. Although, we're still in that period of time where it was somewhat cool to have Green Hill Zone referenced in Sonic. Trust me, I know it's hard to believe, but people still liked Green Hill back then. And look, it is a pretty awesome rendition of Green Hill. It looks nice, you got a cool remix, and there's a lot of new stage gimmicks which you don't usually see in Green Hill. You're grinding, you're bouncing, you're sliding, the only thing missing is bungee jumping. Oh wait, it's got that too. It's good stuff. So good in fact, that our old buddy Gemerald shows up again just to check it out. Still a complete pushover though. I almost feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's trying his best, but it's just not good enough. Just like my YouTube channel. But that's not all, because after beating him, we unlock Knuckles. But first, let's quickly beat this boss. And it's a wheel. I mean, honestly, I appreciate trying something new, but this isn't it. I just don't really get it. The physics seem all off. I mean, his movement is very inconsistent, and he sort of just flails around looking a bit confused. I think Eggman's getting senile, you guys. It's sad to see. Anyway, enough of that, let's try out Knuckles. See, you might have noticed by now, but the main gimmick of this game is that you can pair up all the characters and they all have their unique traits and special abilities. It's pretty cool. Some pair-ups are good, like Tails can yeet you in the air, Sonic can give you an instant boost of speed, heck, you can even ride on the back of Knuckles like some kind of overworked fairground pony. But some of them are real bad, like Tails losing his ability to fly. Bro, that's like literally the only thing Tails has going for him, and you took it away. You might as well have just castrated him whilst you're at it. Either way, it's a lot of fun trying out all the combinations. You can tell a lot of effort went into this, and to top it off, you can play the entire game 2 players, making it probably the best co-op Sonic experience ever. Even better than the best-selling Sonic game ever, Knuckles Chaotix. It's about time someone knocked that game down a few pegs. I'm sick of hearing about it. It's all anyone bleeding talks about. Bloody Knuckles Chaotix, sick of it. Anyways, on to Zone 3, and it's around here that you really start to notice this game absolutely loves instant kill crushing machines. They just slap them all over the place. If you ever run in and you just suddenly smack into a wall, get the hell out of there, because there's probably a crushing machine on its way to make an acquaintance with your face. Outside of that, I think it's another great zone, but the boss, and I mean, it's another downgrade unfortunately. We're in decline here, lads. It's just some weird foggy thing, there's just nothing to it. You just stand between his legs, and that's basically it. It can't even hurt you. Sometimes it tries to throw you and close its little feeties, but it's not exactly going to kill you doing that. Minor inconvenience at best. You know, I think the game might have peaked with that giant hammer boss, I'm not gonna lie. Next up, we've got Toy Kingdom, which seems to be this game's version of Music Plant. It doesn't quite reach that level of quality, but it's still great. Besides the over-reliance on crushing blocks again. I mean, just stop doing that, please. But yeah, it's a cute stage with a ton going on. There's bunny rabbit balloons, Ferris wheels, rockets, big swinging balls, adorable little elephant slides, and even a spinning panda head. I mean, I thought they peaked with the big swinging balls, but that panda head, oh boy. We're 4 zones in, and for me, they've all been bangers. Anyway, we beat Jumbo again, who now has rockets, so at least there's that, but he still sucks. And it's time for the next boss, and it's a box. I mean, I could have thought of a better boss than that. But to be fair, it's actually a Jack in the Box. An evil Jack in the Box, I might add. See, you need to keep hitting him till he falls off the stage. It sort of reminds me of that plant pot boss from Yoshi's Island, only it's way harder. There's a constant stream of attacks coming out the box, and you just don't really know what's going to happen next. If you're not careful, you're getting knocked down that pit. There's no 2 ways around it. You've got to pay attention here. It's a great boss really, and we have broken the chain of crappy bosses at last. The thing is though, right, we're like 5 zones in now, and where the heck are all the other characters? I'm sure we're supposed to have Amy by now. The game just stopped giving them me. Well, here's the thing, right? You can only unlock the other characters if you play as Sonic. Why? Nothing tells you about this, and it just punishes you for experimenting with the main mechanic of the game. It's fucking stupid. Unless you know which specific levels have character unlocks tied to them, you're best just to play as Sonic the entire game. It's kind of ridiculous really. I'm pretty sure the only reason they did this is because they couldn't be bothered writing dialogue for every single character. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory? Are game theory still a thing? Probably. Let's see what we're up to actually, see what we're doing. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh well, that's a shame, isn't it? Anyways, I've got to quickly go back and replay some stuff just to unlock Amy, and we're on to the next zone. And it's the obligatory ice zone. But it's not that bad. I mean, I've always had a soft spot for minecarts in video games, so this pleases me. I'm not really sure the connection between minecart and snow, but whatever. But then right, the game decides to make this a water level. Why? I thought we established in Advance 1 that it's against the law to combine water and ice levels, but they did it again anyway. Only, unlike the other Sonic games, we're pretty bleeding stingy with the air bubbles. I mean, I seriously don't remember the last time I drowned in a Sonic game, but here we are. It doesn't help that your partner can accidentally steal your minecart before you even get to it, meaning you're just fucked. It's not like I'm drowning or anything, Sonic. Don't worry about it. You're just going ahead, you blue bastard. It's fine. You just killed us both, you fucking idiot. So yeah, it's not the best zone. Most of it's fine, but when it goes underwater, it kinda sucks. It probably didn't help that I was playing as Amy. I mean, she's good when paired with Sonic, but otherwise, it's like Advance 1. You can't spin dash, you can't jump on enemies, and what's even worse is, if you team up with Amy as someone else, you lose those abilities too. Her incompetence is spreading like a disease. On to the next boss then, and... okay, hear me out. Why are the snow bosses always the hardest ones in these games? You had the drowning icicle boss from the first game, the infuriating bombs from the second, and now this. I mean, it's one of those bosses you'll either do first try or have the worst time of your life playing. There's no in between. It just seems to come down to luck with the timing. See, you gotta jump on the platform so they fall down and hit Eggman. It's simple. But it only takes one hit for you to fall and die. And if Eggman's attack doesn't line up nice with the platforms, you're basically fucked. I swear sometimes there's just nothing you can do but die. Well, what can I say? I guess Eggman just wanted it more. Next zone, Cybertrack. It's a bit of a retread of Techno-Base from the last game, to be honest. Only, instead of seizure background, you just have a nice retina-destroying white. Never thought I'd have to wear shades for a Game Boy game, but it beats having my face melted off, I guess. Again though, it's a good level, and it's not a straight simple line at all. You go up and down and all around. You got these cool wheel things, you got the anti-gravity shenanigans going on, you got these doodads which shoot you around. It's basically the game's version of the Death Egg, I suppose. Anyway, I think it's time to check out our good old friend Gemma. Let's see if he's got any stronger. Nope. If anything, I think it's got easier. He didn't even have missiles this time. I'm sorry mate, but you bring shame to Emerald's memory. He then transforms into, what is this boss? It's Eggman shooting colourful balls at us. It's a bit weird. It's basically a game of high stakes Pong. I mean, I like Pong, but I wouldn't base an entire boss around it though. I mean, what's next? A Pac-Man boss? Wait, oh god, suppressed memories, resurfacing, oh no. Seriously though. What the fuck was that boss about? Anyways, we win at Pong, and we unlock Cream the Rabbit. And it's time for the final zone, Chaos Angel. And I love it. It's like an evil corrupted version of Angel Island. Yeah, it's incredibly difficult, but I mean, the level design's cool, and so is the music. It really does feel climactic, not only for this game, but for the entire Advance Trilogy. The platforming is precise, the timing is tricky, and the odds are stacked against you. You'll either get incredibly frustrated here, or rise up to the challenge. But it's like, you can't even be mad at this point. You've been trained for this moment. You know all the game's tricks. You know every pit is bottomless. You know that platform's gonna have spikes come out of it. And you know you can't just stand still or the walls are gonna crush you. It's a fucking gauntlet and everything wants you dead. It's intense. Heck, the final level takes place solely on a single moving platform. It's a pretty ballsy move from the developers, I'd say, but I think it works well. It puts the classic Sonic gameplay into a scenario you've simply never experienced before. And it's time for the boss. And just like the previous game, Cream completely breaks the bosses. Yeah, sure, you could dodge his attacks and play carefully and risk dying, or you could just spam Cream and win easily. Ah, well, the tried and trusted technique of spamming the B button. It's never let me down yet. And now, we're on to the final boss. It looks epic, the setting is epic, and it's a well-designed boss fight. It's one of those giant hand bosses. I mean, you gotta dodge his attacks, jump on the hand, and then use that to hit Eggman. Basically, it's the final boss from Donkey Kong on the Game Boy, let's be honest. Unfortunately, you could just cheese it with Cream again. It completely trivializes the boss, frankly. And I mean, you do unlock Cream just before this boss, so it does make sense to use it, right? Real talk though, if you want a cool boss fight, don't use Cream, it just ruins it. It's just a good job that you unlock her near the end of the game, or every boss would have been completely ruined like this. And that's it. The Master Emerald restores the land to its former glory, I guess, and I don't know, nothing's really explained in this game, so use your imagination. But by this point, you know the drill. We gotta get over Chaos Emeralds. But, unlike the other games, you don't need to play through the game with every character. It's just a one and done deal, thank God. The replay value this time comes from these hidden chow. Now, getting over Chaos Emeralds is kind of infamous in the Advance series, but how is it in Sonic Advance 3? Well, I kinda like it. It's a good balance of the previous games. See, each zone has 10 hidden chow throughout the levels, and you've got to find them all. The thing is, unlike the previous game, you don't need to do this in one run, so any chow that you just happen to find throughout the game, it still counts. So it encourages exploration and experimentation even on your first run of the game, and even more so on repeat playthroughs. It just gives you a good reason to replay the levels and experiment with other different characters. They're pretty fun to find too on the most part. You just sort of develop a sixth sense where to look. They're usually in parts of the levels which you'll just speed past without even giving a second thought. But if you slow down and see something that looks a little bit suspicious or unexplored, chances are there's a chow there. Heck, even Omo Chow might give you a clue. For the first time in the history of Sonic, Omo Chow is useful. Perhaps we've treated you too harshly. The only issue really is, Knuckles and Tails are the best combo by far. You can fly, you can climb, you can punch through these walls, basically every ability needed for every Chow. It pretty much makes every other combination completely redundant, which is a shame really. So basically, you play through the game as Sonic to unlock the other characters, and then you basically just play as Knuckles and Tails for everything else. It's a bit of a missed opportunity really. So, once you find other Chow in the zone, a special key will then appear in the stages, and you've got to find that first. And then, you've got to find the hidden spring in the hub world to play the special stage. Jesus, it's a little convoluted. Surely getting other Chow should be enough. These extra steps are just tedious. And worse yet, if you fail the special stage, you need to go back into a level, get the key again, and then go back to the giant spring just to try again. Fuck me, they really make you work for this. Still less annoying than Sonic Advance 2 though. The special stages themselves, and oh no, they finally made a good special stage. It's like a refined version of the first game, only the perspective actually makes sense this time. See, you're on the wings of a tornado, and you've got to collect the rings whilst dodging obstacles. It's simple, right? There's not much to say really. It's simple, it's fun, and it's easily the best special stage in the Advance series. So, getting over Chaos Emeralds is indeed a time sink, but I can't lie, I did actually enjoy it. It beats playing through the same game 4 times, and since the game is designed with exploration in mind this time, it's actually fun exploring the levels. The stages also seem better built around the characters' abilities, so it is quite rewarding exploring them. Anyways, we get over Chaos Emeralds, and it's time for the true final boss. Looks like Gemro has had enough of being a bitch boy and steals over Chaos Emeralds, causing him to transform into a Beyblade. I don't know. What is that? It's a disappointment, that's what it is. Worst looking final boss ever. Sonic then randomly gets his Chaos Emeralds back some reason, despite just having them stolen, and he turns into Super Sonic and teams up with Eggman, thus entering the final zone, Non-Aggression. Yeah, it's a weird name for a zone really. I mean, hey, what's your favourite Sonic zone? Non-Aggression. I mean, come on, it doesn't sound right, does it? The boss itself, and it's okay. You basically have to charge up Eggman like a projectile and yeet him into the boss's weak point. Eggman, once the greatest scientist in the world, now being used as Sonic's plaything. You hate to see it. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of his boss. The design is kinda lame and random, it's too easy, and it doesn't really have much tension to it. It's just a little weird. I mean, he teamed up with Eggman, which is a cool idea, but it just comes from nowhere really, and it doesn't feel earned. Eggman's barely even animated. Seriously, just look at him during this cutscene. It's really fucking lame. Heck, they could have easily just removed Eggman from the fight entirely and made Sonic shoot a beam with his hands, and literally nothing would have been different. Eggman feels more ham-fisted in this fight than this fist made entirely of ham that I just so happen to have laying around. Anyway, we beat the boss, and the ending please. And it shows us what happened to Gemro after he turned into a Beyblade and got his ass beat. It's just like the start of Sonic Battle actually, with Emerald. He gets washed up on the beach, is found and brought back to health by Tails, and he then befriends Cream, and they live happily ever after. Pretty cute actually. Part of me likes to think Emerald's memory was put into Gemro and he lives on. But frankly, they pretty much never mentioned any of this again, so who knows? Or who even cares for that matter? And that's Sonic Advance 3. I know a lot of people seem to dislike this game, but nah. I think it's the best one. It combines the more open platform focused level design of the first game with the speed of the second game perfectly. Yeah, it definitely has some cheap deaths and stuff, but that's pretty much plagued the entire Advance series. Not to excuse that aspect, but it's not unique to this game, and outside of that, I think it achieves everything it's set out to do. Most importantly, the main gimmick of the game, the character team-ups, are amazing, and despite being kinda pointless, it's still a ton of fun experimenting with all the different combinations, and it's something I would like to see return in a future game. The levels are great, the music is amazing, it's a decent challenge, and I actually enjoyed getting the Chaos Emeralds. For a Sonic game, it's really freaking ambitious. And wow, that's it. That's the end of our Sonic journey at last. I bet some of you thought it will never happen, but wow, look at us now, living the dream. So, how would I rank the Sonic Advance games? Well, I think Sonic Advance 2 is the worst one for me, followed by Sonic Advance 1, and then Sonic Advance 3. And at the very top of my list, the best Sonic game ever, Sonic Pinball Party. Nothing will ever beat Sonic Pinball Party, nothing. It's the best game ever made. And the patron of the week is Reginald Cosmic. This video is for you, King. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I hope it didn't suck. Thank you for the support. Goodbye.